Okay, boys and girls, John Britt here. Today we're going to have an exciting glaze testing exercise called Volumetric Line Blend. So what I've discovered is I did a bunch of tests. Here I have all these tiles, and I said, hey, I like rutile and cobalt in this base, Seltzer Chun 2. So then I decided I'm going to run it and systematically mix these together and see if I can get a nice blend, color blend. So here is how it is achieved. This is called a volumetric line blend. Now, normally, so cup A is going to be rutile, cup B is going to be cobalt, and you can see how it increases one direction and decreases the other. So our rutile is increasing while our cobalt is decreasing. Okay, so a lot of times it's done like this, 1 to 10, 2 to 8, to show you proportion. But you don't really need to keep those numbers. In particular, if you did 10 cobalt, it would be black. So there's no sense in doing that. So we adjust our numbers to whatever we want, as long as they're ascending and descending. In this case, I knew that 5 rutile was good and 0.5 cobalt was good from my test, and then I set my numbers up. Now what I'm going to do is I could mix up 1,100 gram batches and just add each cup like it says here. But an easier way is to do it with a syringe and have this volume and squirt it in there. And so these are the numbers you'd want for that. Now, the way we achieve that is we need to look at our recipe here. Here's our Seltzer Chun 2 recipe. And I write it out. It adds up to 100. Well, I know from previous experience I need about 275 milliliters to accomplish this task. So I can do that with a 200 gram batch. So I then just double my batch and then mix it up and put it in a cup. Now also remember, you're going to have to double your colorant. So in this cup I would have 0.5 cobalt, and in this cup I would have 1 cobalt. Okay? So I mix it up and I add water. And then I do my other one where I add rutile to it. So that's my other cup. It's got the same amount of water in it is what you need. The volumes must be the same. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll just take these 2 cups and weigh them on the scale and make sure they're correct. It's an easy way. All right? So now what I'm going to do is I have these syringes, which I have purchased from, like, you know, a veterinary supplier or like Amazon or something. You can buy them real cheap. This is a 60 milliliter. Then they have a variety of sizes here. You'll find whatever you need. Okay, so then what I'm going to do is I write on each cup so I don't get confused. I write A, B, like that. Everything I need in each cup. And you can see I've added the rutile to this to make it quicker for a little demo. But I'm going to show you how to do this cobalt one. So now a lot of times I'll keep this stirred up. Sometimes I may put in food coloring if I get confused, just to make things clearer. And so now this cup says 50B. So I just pull my syringe up to 50 and put it in there. Now this one says 45. Pull my syringe up. It's real easy to see. 45, 40. And what I may also do is partially in the middle of this I will stir it, because you want it to be nice and mixed. You don't want just getting water. So then I'll do 30. Okay, so now I'm going to stop. Just pretend that I kept doing all the rest. One thing to tell you is sometimes you can use this smaller syringe. Like for the 5, this is much easier to do because it's much easier to read. Okay, so now that I've done that, I've got my things all in there. What I need to do next is have my tiles set out. So I have all my tiles. Some people like flat tiles, some people like standing tiles. I like standing tiles because of gravity and the firing, and so I always have standing tiles in there. But either way, we've got to label them. So as you can see on the chart, I've written cup 1, cup 2, cup 3 like that. And I'm going to use either iron oxide or a pencil, high temperature pencil. But lately I've been using this designer liner. So you can do it real easy. I won't do all of these, but just so you get the idea. Incidentally, on mine, I also have numbers stamped in there, so then I'll record all this. Okay? So then when I'm ready to go, what I'm going to do is just take my cup 1, I'm going to just swirl it around and dip my tile. 1 dip. I try to go as far down as possible just so I get a thin coat. And then I'm going to go 1001, 1002, 1003. That's my second coat. And a lot of times I'll do all of them 1 coat and then all of them the second coat. And if I really want to, when I'm after this dries a little bit, I can do a 3rd coat, and I usually do it like this. So it angles on the side. So it angles. So I always have 1, 2, and 3. If I do the 3rd at the top, sometimes it'll obliterate everything. All right, so that's done. Then I'm going to take my flat tile and glaze it. So sometimes this is harder to do because brushing is harder than pouring, and you can see it'll be uneven. So I'll paint one direction, then I'll wait for this to dry. It's pretty dry now. Then I'll do the other direction. And I'll probably wait again and do 3 coats in this method. But you're going to determine on your own what the best way is. Okay, so that's done. Then I would go on to my next one, my next one, my next one. All right? So now we're going to come over here. We're going to see what we have achieved through this. And then you have to analyze your results. So you can see I have Seltzer Chun 2 with cobalt 0.5%. Here it is standing and flat. The one thing you first notice is that my flats are not all applied well. Some of them it didn't get on completely, so we'd have to do a little better job. Some ones towards the end I did better. Okay? Then I'm going to see the way I'm going to observe the way my tiles are, and I'm going to say, oh man, I really love this one. This is 0.3 rutile, 0.2 cobalt carb, and it makes a pinky, runny, double dip, and then the single dip is more like baby blue. So it's excellent to glaze. And this one is also nice. So what now I may do is do a progression in between these two, much finer, so that I can find and I could do that volumetrically too. Okay? So that is the way that you do a line blend volumetrically and find colors that you want. All right, do 10 of those by tomorrow and call me in the morning.